Hey there, history adventurers. It's me, Ramuel, your trusty guide through the wild, wacky, and sometimes super serious past. Today, we're kicking things off with a real hero from way back when, Bartholomew the Apostle. You might also know him by his other cool name, Nathaniel, a guy Jesus himself gave a glowing review to, saying he was a true child of Israel. There is no guile in him. That's like getting an A+ from the big boss himself. After Jesus' time on earth, the apostles didn't just chill out. Oh no, they became the ultimate globetrotters, spreading the word far and wide. Bartholomew's journey took him on an epic adventure, eventually landing him in Armenia with his pal, St. Jude. And boy, did they make an impression. They were so good at preaching that they converted the local king Polemius and a whole bunch of his royal court to Christianity. But not everyone was thrilled. King Polemius's brother, the pagan prince Astyages, was absolutely furious. He didn't like this new religion messing with his old traditions, so he had Bartholomew arrested. Tragically, Bartholomew was martyred around 72 AD in a super gruesome way. Tradition says he was flayed alive, meaning his skin was peeled off, and then beheaded. It's a tough story, but it shows just how brave these early Christians were. His sacrifice made him, along with St. Jude, the patron saint of the Armenian Apostolic Church. Now, let's zoom out from Bartholomew's incredible and intense story and see what else was popping off around the world between 70 AD and 90 AD. This was a time of big changes, powerful leaders, and some seriously dramatic moments across different continents. Think of it as ancient reality TV, but with way more toga parties and less air conditioning. First up, our old friends, the Romans. This period was a huge roller coaster for the Roman Empire. It all kicked off with a bang in 70 AD when the Romans, led by the future Emperor Titus, finished the First Jewish-Roman War by capturing and destroying the city of Jerusalem. This was a truly devastating event, especially with the destruction of the Second Temple, a super important holy site. You can still see this victory carved into the Arch of Titus in Rome today. After a chaotic Year of the Four Emperors, where 4 different guys tried to be emperor in 1 year, talk about political drama, the Flavian Dynasty finally brought some much-needed stability. The first emperor of this new family was Vespasian, reigned 69-79 AD, who was known for getting things done. His biggest claim to fame? Starting construction on the most famous arena in the world. His son, Titus, who reigned after him, 79-81 AD, finished the job in 80 AD, giving Rome its magnificent Colosseum. Imagine nearly 50,000 people packed in there, cheering on gladiators and mock naval battles. Then came Vespasian's other son, Domitian, reigned 81-96 AD. He was a bit more serious and spent a lot of time on military campaigns. He fought against the Dacians, in modern-day Romania, and the Chatti, in Germany, showing Rome's power. He also continued the Roman conquest of Britain under his general Gnaeus Julius Agricola, pushing Roman control further north into the misty British Isles. So, while you're learning about Romans, remember they weren't just hanging out in Italy, they were conquering everywhere. Meanwhile, across the vast lands of Asia, the Eastern Han Dynasty, which ruled from 25 to 220 AD, was holding strong in China. This was a time of relative calm and power, though the royal court always had its share of dramatic family feuds and power struggles, with eunuchs often playing a surprisingly big role behind the scenes. But China wasn't just about palace gossip. Its generals were busy making sure the Silk Road, that super important ancient highway for trade and ideas, stayed open and safe. The legendary General Ban Chao led incredible military expeditions that pushed Chinese influence deep into Central Asia, all the way to the Pamir Mountains. This made China a major player in trade and politics across the continent. What about the lands to the north, beyond Rome's direct grasp? Northern Europe was a mix of hardy Germanic tribes and other groups living in less organized societies. While they weren't building massive stone colosseums, they were definitely interacting with the Roman Empire. As we mentioned, Roman forces under Agricola were busy conquering Britain, and they also built strong border fortifications in Germany to keep the various Germanic tribes, like the Chatti, from messing with their territory. Further north, in places like Scandinavia, people lived in tribal communities, largely following their own ancient ways, far from the empires of the south. Now, for these parts of the world, our historical records from this exact 20-year window are a bit like a mystery novel with a few missing pages. We don't have as much super detailed information from that precise time, but we still know some cool stuff. In the Americas, major civilizations were still growing. In Mesoamerica, what's now Mexico and Central America, the magnificent city of Teotihuacan was continuing its development, eventually becoming one of the largest cities in the ancient world. In the Andean mountains of South America, the Mocha culture was beginning to emerge, becoming famous for its incredible pottery and metalwork. These weren't yet the massive empires like the Aztecs or Incas, but they were laying the groundwork for future greatness. And in Africa, it was a continent buzzing with diverse cultures. In North Africa, areas like Egypt and what's now Tunisia and Algeria were firmly under Roman control, bustling with Roman cities and trade. But beyond that, independent kingdoms and countless tribal societies thrived. The powerful Kushite kingdom in modern-day Sudan was a major center for ironworking and trade. And across vast parts of West and Central Africa, the Bantu expansion was a huge deal. Bantu-speaking peoples were migrating, spreading their languages, farming techniques, and cultural traditions across huge stretches of the continent. It was a time of dynamic growth and movement. So there you have it. From a brave apostle facing a terrible fate in Armenia to Roman emperors building wonders and conquering lands, and from Chinese generals expanding their empire to emerging cultures in the Americas and Africa, the world between 70 AD and 90 AD was absolutely packed with adventure and change. Phew, what a ride!